Nature, or Pachamama, where life is reproduced and exists, has the right to exist, persist, maintain, and regenerate its vital cycles, structures, functions, and its processes in evolution. Every person, people, community, or nationality will be able to demand the recognitions for the rights of nature. Te Awa Tupua is a legal person and has all the rights, powers, duties, and liabilities of a legal person. The rights and responsibilities must be taken by Te Pu Tupua on behalf of and in the name of Te Awa Tupua. These two statements have been pulled directly from two monumental pieces of legislation, the first from Ecuador's national constitution, and the second from the Wanganui River Claims Settlement Bill between the Maori people and the New Zealand Crown Government. The Rights of Nature movement is a movement with social, cultural, and political dimensions. Whether governments are granting legal personhood to landforms on a case-by-case basis or mandating it at a constitutional level, political institutions are being set in place that finally reflect the intrinsic value and support that ecosystems hold and provide. This movement really is a mix of two things. I call it a social movement not only because it requires the engagement of people, but because it represents a unique application of human rights values to conservation tactics. And plus, environmental justice is social justice. Those advocating to be the guardians of waterways who cannot speak for themselves before our courts are also fighting for their own rights at the same time. Rights of nature can be seen as a loss, that something like a river seems to have no basis for protection or right to exist before humans officially deem it as such in their own institutions, or that this is presented to the world as an entirely new concept when certain indigenous groups worldwide have been saying and always understood that the natural world is more than inanimate and is inherently worthy of surviving free from exploitation and harm. But it can also be seen as a victory. This growing trend shows the progress we made as a planet, progress that allows us to look outside of ourselves finally when it comes to inclusion, and progress that shows us how far we can still go. Even if it feels like just words on paper, it's representation and it matters. Who still needs a seat at the table? Who, by lacking representation, is still unprotected, underrepresented, and needs to be heard? This question has been the driver for social movements throughout history, extending power that was previously withheld from those who didn't fit the contextually dominant class, gender, sexual orientation, religion, ethnicity, ability, or color. And now, the Rights for Nature movement is extending the answer to this question to even beyond the human world. Ecuador and Bolivia are seen as the original champions of this movement, followed by New Zealand, but the Rights for Nature movement is slowly expanding its reach. People in Bangladesh, India, and even Ohio citizens on Lake Erie have all adopted this framework for protection of their waterways. The Maori Wanganui Iwi understand their fundamental connection to what is now a legal person, the Wanganui River. They say, "The river flows from the mountain to the sea. I am the river, and the river is me."